going now as young adults. So it'd be the second time seeing him and then following him.
Or the
second time chasing. You might have seen him a few times.
I'm back.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm back now.
Okay. This would be your second time following him, but it's like your third or fifth or whatever time actually seeing him somewhere. But this would be, you're in the part where the character is following him for the second time. The protagonist is following him.
Is he with his friend in this second chase, or is that just in the first? Okay. So, yeah, I'll tell them that the protagonist and his best friend were chasing after. The first time they were looking for him, they were basically hired to look for him, weren't they?
No, the first time they... Well, each time they just...
that's right.
Randomly
they kind of bumped
saw
into him.
Right. And the second... Then they were like, he's doing something. And then they got some clues that he's trying to make some sort of world destroyer or something like that. So then they, every time that they found him, lost track of him, but this time they didn't, so they were actually following him this second time to try and stop him from whatever the hell he's muttering about with planet destroying.
Laser cannons.
The protagonist's friend are tracking down someone who's mentioning destroying the world. It's the second time they've had a good track.
Ah, you're on that chapter. Can you pull out your book and just read? Gnome walks over to you. Can you just pull out your book real quick?
I do.
He opens it up, sees where you've got your bookmark, scrolls a couple pages, seems to have his finger pointing at a word and turns it. Can you read what it says there? I know it's skipping ahead, but just so you can. Do you read it?
Yes.
You read it, and it is from the friend speaking to the protagonist, and it says, Zephyr, what have you done? And then he closes the book. He hands it to you and goes, you want to see something interesting? I'm surprised you didn't have your memory jogged.
I think it was trying.
The rest of the little group here gets up near you, and you guys almost seemingly teleport back to hovering... Oh, whatever, now it's a ball. Hovering above the town that you guys were in. Except now it's a lot bigger. Way more than this is. The forest that's around it is gone, and there's just other buildings. And you more or less fly over the sky towards another spot, and you get a harsh memory from parts in the book of the kids, except through the eyes of one of those kids. And although you can't put everything together and your memory is still incomplete, you, being the logical character that you are, have pieced together that the town you're in was a small fraction of that town in the book, and that town in the book is your childhood home, and you are the protagonist. That you were once a human.
Anticlimactic reveal.
Yeah, it's always been known.
Characters kind of select.
The hell just happened? Mumble, why are you having issues at the moment?
Alright, we're back.
Woo.
Wow, that
Tate, that was completely
was
unnecessary.
rare. Indeed.
I had.
Completely unnecessary.
Right, no more sunboard.
Okay.
So back to game then. Then you're back inside of darkness after having it revealed to your character. Whether your player knew or not, for your character, that town was part of his town, and he is reading a book about his own past.
For the moment, my character is just kind of slack-jawed. If they could tell under the mask.
Probably. So after your character being mouth wide open, the cleric walks up to you and goes, "I think it's time we get you back to your friends, huh?"
I suppose. Yeah.
Well, follow me. Do you turn around?
Yeah.
And there's that blue box. He walks into the blue box. You follow. And your memory seems to go blank for a second. And all of a sudden you are standing in this room. And you see a blue box fade from existence.
I'm gonna head out the door where I was chasing Raton before.
Okay, so as you head towards the door, swapping back over to the original party, or the other part of the party, Tucson heads down, says, "I need you guys up here now. There's some strange things going on, and I don't know where Zephyr went." So you guys start to head and follow with Perthros, you putting some of those papers away, and now the other part of the reveal that I said I'd come back to you for, it mentions Zephyr in it.
Alright.
That's why I couldn't say then.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, so you guys all follow Tucson? Yes, no?
Once I've finished stuffing things in my sack, yes.
Okay. Does Arim follow, or does he continue to try and dismantle?
I'll follow.
Alright. Real quickly, Tate, Avina, what was she looking over here for?
I'm looking over the beast forge. Is there
What is
any
she-
other buttons
No.
other than
There's-
the one that's?
There's just the seemingly on and off button.
And on how to operate, like, she's very confused. And Zephyr's gone, so she can't exactly ask him anything now.
They're probably controlled by some sort of magical device through the use of magic, Tate. And the on-off button is just a fail-safe on-off button.
It's a very dangerous failsafe. I bet it's a scout.
Or the couch is just a couch. Anyway, we'll put your characters up there then, if they all follow.
I want that beast forge.
And the characters follow up. And once you guys get to the top, and you're gonna come around the door to see Zephyr. But before you do, Zephyr, you go through the door and you see Hyolda holding Raton,
I
looking
start,
confused.
I start aggressively walking up to Ratan and am asking questions as I'm walking. How did you control the Forged?
This is at the point that the rest of the party there also rounds through the door. And you are yelling at Ratan. How did they hear you yell, how did you control the Forged? And he just goes, I don't know, I just told him what to do. He seems frozen.
Do you have something, or did you just turn them on?
He still seems frozen.
I'm going to go over here, presumably where Held is not looking at me, and cast Detect Magic.
Okay. As you go over there, you see Hulda start to follow you, and then she also freezes. Yes, they're showing up, but just ignore them for now. Then Ratan looks at you, and in a voice that's very different, he just goes, well, it looks like you accomplished your mission.
You know, you guys freezing time.
I kind of just drop my head and put my hand over my face. Just like, ah.
And then, literally walking out of his body, Metweo appears. Like, quite literally just walking out of his body. And then, walking in through the doorway is Octomenos. So, you guys turned off your robots. And now, you have no more purpose in this town. Do any of you really care about any of these people? Otherwise, this is Metweo. Otherwise, I'll just put them back where they were. Inside of the Well of Souls. I only brought them back to life so they could fix those robots for you.
I really did like the robot puppy.
Their only purpose is to build what you tell them to build. They are not intelligent creatures. I mean, to be fair, none of you are really intelligent creatures, but fair is fair. Lamb, as you've been using Detect Magic, you realize that there is no magic in town, but at the same time, there is. Almost as if everything in the town is real, but it's only been being held together thanks to a very, very thin amount of magic. So thin you almost wouldn't have recognized it. But if it were to go away, the stones would just fall apart, and the wood would just fall apart, and the town would turn back into a forest. Like, this was all an elaborate ruse.
So how much of this has just been you guys screwing with us?
Metweo looks at you. Technically, all of it. You see, you've got one more goal, but before we leave, we needed to make sure that you were ready. And after your next goal, should you succeed it, you will be ready. Again, though, do any of these people's lives matter to you? Do you want any of them to stay alive at a town or anything? Otherwise, I'll just kill them. Technically kill them.
At this point, I'll walk up to what's his face?
Metweo?
Keep wanting to say Mewtwo. Ah, damn it, brain.
Oh no, I purposely named him that way so that you would think of Mewtwo.
Well, it's working. Sure, what was he? Oh, right. And request that Chance and Elba are kept.
He just looks at you. Only 2? Are you sure you don't want to have the whole town so your town can be started with a town? He just gives you a smile. I'll allow you to take your character to have a second to realize this might still be all part of his test. Whether you're supposed to sacrifice or not sacrifice the townspeople.
Marcus,
Aren't they already dead?
Yeah, we already sacrificed an entire damn town.
I know, but he's testing you.
Well, he also
Because
implied
you-
that they're already dead, and bringing them back would be against the natural order.
Well, yes and no. He is the natural order. Him and the other couple of ultimate gods are technically existent, so there is no natural order. Reality
Well, it would be
is them.
against what we would perceive
That's
as
true.
the natural order.
That's true.
I also want Arid dead. Kept fucking whistling and making me think it was him. Bastard.
But anyway, so yeah, he asks you, you don't want a whole town? You just want 2 people?
Well, I can't speak for anyone else here, but those are the only 2 I'm honestly interested in.
Well, I mean, I already went on my spiel about how he's basically saying they're already dead. They were already dead. That was like half in character until we got to the whole what we know is the natural order bit.
I personally wouldn't mind having the whole town brought back.
He just smiles. Alright. I think it would be horribly rude of me to take away their lives after I brought them back and changed their memories. So we'll keep them all alive, so you can have your blacksmith and your crazy old man and your star-crossed lovers, and they'll be in your town. But, hopefully, they will live long enough to see you return from your last mission that you wanted. Your last test, as it were. Out of curiosity, does any of your characters question now why he keeps referring to testing and making sure you're ready?
I don't know. At this point, my guy's just kind of used to it. He's frustrated, but not frustrated enough to ask.
I'm
Because he
fine as
doesn't
long as
think
I get a
he's gonna get a
robo puppy
straight
in the
answer.
end.
Tate, you're not getting a robo puppy.
Damn it.
I'm still kind of just shaking my head with my head in my hand.
Well, I suppose if there's no other questions, I will just teleport this town to your town. Have the robots begin to fix up parts of the town, wipe their memories of this entire event, change their memories to what I need it to be for you. Don't worry, I'll have them remember you as people that came and, I don't know, killed a group of raiders. How's that sound? And
then sacrificed an entire town.
yeah.
Oh wait, no,
that's
that was
kinda-
a different town.
That's kind of what he was referring to, actually.
Yeah, that's press.
And you can go meet them after your next location. Sound good?
Can I put in a... Marcus! I know you said no. I'm not gonna say anything. Never mind, I'm done.
If your character wants one of the things, have her ask. That's up to you.
No, I'm good.
Can we get one of the... brain stopped thinking. Can we get one of the Beast Forge and the repair documents?
You mean to follow you on your journey?
At the very least, so that Aram has something other than me to practice on.
Metweo touches the head of Rattan, and all of a sudden he snaps out of being frozen and goes, I don't know anything else. Who are you? Metweo goes, shh.
God!
I need you, looking at Rattan, I need you to make one of your robot puppies. Be a companion for this group of fine adventurers here. He just kind of shrinks his eyes. Because I would... You see Rattan tap the forehead... Or, Metweo tap the forehead of Rattan. His eyes go pitch black, then pitch white. Then it looks like there's a universe in his eyes. Then they go back to normal. He takes them off. Rattan goes, okay. No more questions. I got it. And he just starts walking past you guys, freaked the fuck out. And he looks back at you guys. Give him like 5 minutes. Five minutes go by. We'll have to get a different model. But he comes back with one of the Warforged puppies.
God, I have an actual, like, Iron Defender fucking figurine. If that was a thing I was able to do in this, it'd be amazing. But...
Looking back at you guys then. Any more questions or requests? You'll probably only see us one more time. Technically. Until I need you again. But for sure, one. For sure, one.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna get up and just go over here. Why us? I'm probably gonna get the runaround for this question, but why not?
The runaround? Oh, of course not. Akmenos, do you want to explain this to them? You, seem to have a charm. Akmenos smiles his devilish grin and looks at you and goes, quite simply, because myself, Gnome, Metweo, all of us extremely powerful entities, we're taking a holiday. This world isn't going to have very powerful beings watching over it. We needed to pick a group. Metweo picked a couple different souls from the Well of Souls, allowed them to be born into the universe. Here you are, along with a good few others, but they're wherever the hell they are, so maybe you'll come across them, maybe you won't. Cough, cough, hint, hint for future player characters if needed. But in short, because we decided to birth a couple people to be destined for it. And, yeah, in short, y'all will become the new protectors of this planet. Yay, you! while the rest of us get to lounge around on some other universe or whatever the fuck we really decide. No pressure.
I'm getting flashbacks of Asura's wrath.
We're a little mixed up to be the Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, Jared's not exactly a tree person. And I'm not exactly a short, angry raccoon.
And you're
No,
partnered
Cal
up
would be
with
the
a
right-
mage
Your
and not
character
me.
would not know that reference. So
I know, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that out of character.
Besides
entirely.
Tate,
I know
fucking
Tate.
Cal would be the raccoon. He's the builder.
Well, Kelb is the personality of Rocket, but Tate is the body of Rocket. Just like how Zephyr is the body of Groot, but Tucson is probably the personality of Groot.
Tim is Drax.
Tim's got the
No.
body of Drax. I don't know if he's got the personality of Drax. No,
So
he's got
instead
it
of
pretty
I am
close.
Groot, its door is locked.
Right. Door is locked.
Wow.
Anyway. So yeah. Oh, and Rattan gets frozen back in time again. But anyway. Yeah, so he just told you guys that they plan to leave. They're not going to help anymore. In short, not only did I tell you how they're not going to bring you back to life or anything else for free and everything, they're literally not going to help. If you have a massive dragon, you won't have characters technically stronger than you that are god tier like these ones in the world to help anymore.
What a...
Tate, were you saying something?
Tate?
Tate?
Uh-oh. That's not a good sign.
Go back.
Yeah,
What about
I didn't hear
the
anything
gnomes?
you said. You said, but what about...
the gnomes? Like, gnome them.
That's what you're asking?
Yeah.
Or that's what... Is that what Avina's asking?
Yeah.
Gotcha. What about the gnome? Or, what about the gnomes? What about the gnomes? Gnome will be leaving with us, yes, but the gnomes will still be here. They'll still be more advanced than all of you, hiding away, doing their thing. But they will not have gnome anymore. But they are aware of this. Anyone that is in contact with us is aware of our departure.
So what's going to happen to the management of the guilds?
Well, while all of you were doing this, a good number of them have dispersed. Mostly because Octominos decided no longer to be a head of the guild. So the head of the guilds won't exist. There will just be random guilds. But you are our specific guild to be in charge of the guilds. Should you acquire so many members you don't want to keep track of and you want them to become part of their own guild, they can be a sub-guild under you.
Where do gods go on a holiday?
As your character thinks that, Metwhale looks over at you. Where we go on a holiday? I can create an entire universe in the blink of an eye and have a planet of a perfect beach if I really wanted. I can go wherever I want for a holiday. I could create a duplicate of this universe a duplicate of all of your souls, and then go on a murder spree if I really wanted that for my holiday. I could do whatever I want.
Dragonborn.
If there's no more questions, though, I think our time is just about up. I'm gonna have to give you some sad news, though. You are a party of 5 now. I've decided a certain area needed to have a new certain someone helping out, so Samael is unfortunately no longer part of your team. According to your mortal world laws, as far as you're concerned, technically, he's dead. And you can't bring him back.
Well, shit, what happens with the horse?
We'll have to take turns taking care of it.
I suppose.
He is now a sentient horse who can take care of himself.
Awakened horse.
He is a celestial warlock horse.
Indeed.
He knows all the answers, he just cannot say them.
Indeed.
I have no mouth and I must scream.
Right. Anyway.
Butter lettuce.
What?
God damn it, Jared.
Anyway, with that knowledge imbued upon you, they go, I think it's about time for all of you to hit the road. And with that, the 5 of you and your Beast Forge appear along a road in the middle of a forest, and a map laying on the ground with a knife stabbed into it to keep it from blowing away in the wind. That shows directly where you're supposed to go to that dungeon. Strangely enough, it's pretty much just down the road. With your characters doing that, though, Samael, you went to
Yes.
sleep for the night to catch some Z's before having to do guard duty. And your dream, though, you are dreaming initially about waking up and going and catching the automata, but then time seems to slow down, everything fades to white, and you are back in the familiar emptiness of the whatever multiverse or whatever the pure white realm is. And there's Mewtwo sitting on his couch, looking at you. And your presumed deity, an angel or whatever of life and death, standing near him. He motions behind you, and there's a couch behind you.
I get it. I will sit down.
As you sit down, he goes, Samael, glad you could make it. Not that you technically had a choice. How are you doing?
Curious. But well.
Curious, that's good. Well, I have great news for you. You're getting a promotion in the grand scheme of the universe. See, I'm gonna go on a vacation, as is a lot of other higher up deities that, I mean, don't get me wrong, all the aspects of the universe will still function as they always do, and you'll have your lesser gods, or as far as you are concerned, the gods, doing their thing. but a lot of us that have been pulling the strings are gonna be taking a break. And that includes my pal here. And while he's gone, he needs someone to watch after the gates of life and death for him. You are your god's new replacement.
So I am taking your place?
No, not my place. His place.
Oh. Very well then. If that is my calling, then I must answer it.
There is one unfortunate side effect to this, though.
Go
In the
on.
mortal world, you're dead. You've died. You can't go back. You can't help your family and friends. When they die, they will meet you, and you will allow them to go to the, what I call the Well of Souls. But you can't interact with them.
Also, your corpse may or may not have turned into a parrot.
No, this isn't Gnome. This is Metway.
Well, no, I was making a Monty Python
Um,
reference.
Oh, gotcha.
It seems like something Gnome would do.
I'm not sure I fully understand, but I know that if I am needed, I will go where I'm called to.
Fantastic. The guardian of life and death walks over to you. He goes, "Let me see your hand."
I reach out my left hand.
He grabs it, lets go of it. There seems to be some kind of rune on your hand, and as you look at it for a second, suddenly you feel a finger just poke your forehead, go into your forehead, and the mysteries of the universe, life and death, flash before your character's eyes. He feels like he goes from, mechanically speaking, a essentially third level character to god tier, so way above 20 level. And he takes his finger out of your forehead, and you now sit there with unbelievable amounts of power and knowledge.
Is there anything specific you need me to do?
Before your character asks that, you already know what to do.
Alright.
They just wave at you and fade off, and you, as not well with this knowledge now, also fade off into the realm that you are now a protector of. And this is the end, technically, of your character's story within the campaign, as he is now essentially a deity, but an unknown deity.
Can I name myself known? For
What was
lulz? Can I name myself known for lulz?
Name yourself what?
I said, can I make myself known for lulz?
Not, no.
Okay.
Maybe in another realm, but not in the player's realm.
Okay. I just thought it would be hilarious to be like, I am now God. No. Can I bestow my powers, my old powers upon anyone?
Nope.
Okay.
But that is the end of your character's story.
Yeah, we're back again.
Yeah, now we're all back again. Like I was saying, this is the end of your character's story.
Well, it's been fun, guys. It really has been. Guess there's really not anything left for me to do. Except for, I guess I can stay until the end to say my goodbyes.
So, Kelb, do you want me to run a server since I have it, or do you want me just to send you the file for you to load it up?
For what, the dungeon?
Yeah.
I mean, you're promoted, you can actually load it up yourself, but let me actually save this before we do that.
Okay.
I have saved.
Does everyone remember where their birthday counters are at? If not, quickly take a look, because I do not have them stored on the other world. So we'll have to spawn them in. I think everyone's at 3, except for Kelb at 1.
The one that's really been using it?
Mostly. Some
I'm at
haven't
3
used
because I
theirs
just
at
had
all.
my birthday. Mine was at 0.
Yeah, Jared hasn't had one for a while.
I just
Just
have
got
to
it not too
remember
long
my
ago.
DC counter is at 26.
I can't heal and I roll bad, so I had to use mine up pretty quickly.
Oh god, everything's exploding.
Yeah, TTS actually froze up on me there for a moment. The hell's up with the double boards, Marcus?